Hello crocheters, I am about to give you a crochet tutorial that if you have not yet learned this technique, it is about to change your crochet game. Even though I'm building a crochet tutorial library, you're gonna eventually have to dig. Don't dig for this one. Hit that save button right now before you do anything. Today's crochet tutorial is how to work the foundation double crochet. If you see this on a pattern, it's going to say FDC, not to be confused with front post double crochet. It's foundation row double crochet. This process can be worked with any stitch such as a single crochet or a half double crochet, but double crochet is the one it's most commonly used with, so that's what the tutorial is going to be surrounding. Foundation double crochet plainly means that you're going to work that initial chain row and your first row of your stitch in combination together so that you don't have to do the long chain first and then work back into it with your double crochets. We're going to be working it all together. This is going to be a game changer if your foundation chain seems a little bit wonky, maybe it's too tight, or maybe it's way too loose. Combining these two together is going to really help with that. Your foundation row will be more flexible and more consistent. Let's just say your pattern says 20 FDCs. All right, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook and we're going to chain 3. Now you have to understand the psychology behind this. This counts as our double crochet and 1 turning chain. Now we're going to turn our work sideways and we're going to work into the 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. Otherwise known as that very first chain we created. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to go into the top half of that chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now I know right now it looks like a standard double crochet, but it's not. We're going to yarn over and create 1 single crochet, which is literally going to create the stitch that we're going to be working into for our next pass through. Now I know that sounds crazy, but we're going to be working upside down. Yes, we are. So now we're going to create a double crochet as normal. So pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's upward. And I know it doesn't make any sense yet, but if we look back, we have to turn it upside down. This is the stitch that we created, okay? Think of that as your chain from now on. Now we're going to yarn over, we're going to turn our work upside down, and we're going to look for that little V stitch there, okay? There's our V stitch. We're going to go under both loops, okay? Yarn over and pull up a loop and pull through 1 for a single crochet. Again, this is the chain. We're literally creating the chain as we go on the bottom and the double crochets on the top. See, there's our first double crochet. So yarn over and pull through 1. There's our chain loop we just created. And now we're going to double crochet. There's 1 and 2 for second double crochet. Once you get it started, you're going to start seeing it come together on the top and the bottom. It's just really awkward to turn your work upside down. Let's yarn over again, and now we're going into this single crochet. So go in through both loops. Now you don't want to crochet too loose or too tight. Just try to stay as normal tension as possible. Bring up a loop, yarn over, single crochet, then double crochet as normal. It's going to take practice, you guys. Yarn over, turn your work upside down, and go into that last single crochet that you made. Literally, we're working the top and the bottom at the same time. Yarn over and make a single crochet. Yarn over and make your double crochet. Now, turn your work sideways. And you can see that you're forming the double crochets. Look for those posts and also your chain work on the bottom. It's not going to be perfect when you first start. That's okay. It's an awkward process. You just need to get used to it. So yarn over, turn your work upside down, look for that V, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and single crochet through 1, yarn over and double crochet and double crochet. There we go. If your crocheting tension is really tight, it's still going to be a little bit wonky. It's something that you will get better with over time. I remember when I was first learning this, I hated it. It was very awkward. I couldn't really understand what that first passover was for. But then once I realized I'm working the top and the bottom at the same time, and just honestly getting past that first double crochet made was so much more helpful. So we do the double crochet, then we turn it back upside down and go through that last single crochet we made right there, which is literally our chain. Single crochet and double crochet. The goal with this stitch is to try to be consistent from the beginning of starting it until the end with your tension. And that does not come easily, okay? It takes practice. So be kind to yourself and just keep practicing. It's an awkward stitch and it kind of goes against the grain of what we've been taught, right? But once you get this mastered, I promise you, if you understand the psychology behind it, that on the top you're making the double crochet and that on the bottom you're making your chain. And that single crochet right before, right here, the double crochet is what makes your chain, and that's what you go into for your next stitch. The goal with this is to get a nicer foundation row started that's not too tight and crimping in like this, or not so loose that everything you crochet afterwards is much wider than your base. But it's going to also make it much more flexible. As you can see, it's much more flexible. So if you start out and it's really tight and then you get really loose as you start, please do yourself a favor. Frog it out and restart, keeping in mind, okay, this time I'm going to start with a little bit looser tension, just a little bit, okay? A little bit will make a big difference. When you have a project like a scarf where you've got 100+ double crochets to make, chaining that and then going back in and doing the foundation double crochet or whatever stitch you're using it with is a lot of work. This you can get done in half the time. How beautifully it turns out. We've got a beautiful V-stitch on the top and a beautiful V-stitch on the bottom. Okay, I hope you love this tutorial. Again, please save this so that you can refer back to it. If you have any questions, I'm always open in my DMs to answer them. And if you love this tutorial, again, please share it out so other people can see it. You help me a lot by doing that, and you help your fellow crocheters. All right, till next time, happy crocheting.